Purpose. What is purpose? Having as one's intention or objective. Another definition, the reason for which something is done or created or for which something exists. Right? So a lot of young people, a lot of people actually, a lot of people in general, no matter how old or how young or what stages of life they're in, we might tend to struggle with our purpose or our true purpose or our calling in life, right? And this book I've kind of been reading on and off, The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He kind of describes purpose as kind of like, is it being layers that you kind of peel away to get to your core purpose. So you'll have different purposes in life. Like you'll have different objectives and goals and things that you want to reach and do and fulfill in your life. And those will change over time as you fulfill those things, right? So maybe one of your purposes or one of your goals was to start a clothing business, and now you want to open up a bakery or something like that later on. And an example here would be like a purpose, one of my purposes could be doing this whole YouTube thing, right? And I could be fulfilling a purpose of mine without even knowing that I am, because innately I'm just attracted to certain things that are interesting to me, to be honest. Right now I don't have any willingness to quit this or to just stop this out of nowhere. I'm going to keep this going as far as I want to take it, and I don't see any reason to stop, right? That goes for so many things with artistry. Think of people who are artists. In general, some of the best artists, musical artists or even painters and whatnot, they don't always do the same thing for every era. Like when musical artists, when they release new albums, the albums will come out with, usually if they're good, right, they'll come out with different noises and sounds and different styles of music. Picasso, for an example, he drew increasingly differently until it got to a point of abstraction, completely changed his style and whatnot. And that was kind of like, in a way, fulfilling his purpose, right? He stopped wanting to draw realistically. He wanted to change things up and change the game, and doing that completely revolutionized the way the art world is. And a way to kind of fulfill your purpose is to be true to yourself and to just know yourself, right? Know thyself, right? And you have to get comfortable with who you are and the things that you're into and that you like and what you truly like. Some of that can be fogged up by addiction and not having discipline, because a lot of the things that are purpose my lie-in might require a lot of discipline and require a lot of hard work. Most of it, all of it actually will require discipline and hard work. Fulfilling, your literal main goal in life or your main goals in life is not going to be an easy thing to do. You can't just sit on your couch eating potato chips, ordering DoorDash every day and think that you're going to find your purpose through that, right? Find it through discipline, find it through fasting, find it through exercise, find it through writing, find it through journaling, right? One thing that has helped me assess my thoughts a lot more is through journaling. Now, I don't do it as frequently as I'd like to, but I do it every so often, like every other day maybe. And when I do, I'll write pages. I'll write, 3 pages on average whenever I write anything in my journal when it comes to my thoughts, or if I read a book and I'm trying to break down how I felt about, the contents of the book. And that's kind of what helps me regulate my thoughts and get to know myself better. And then, of course, having friends or family members or people that are kind of close to you or in your circle that can, in a way, relate to the same things that you're feeling or going through. You want to surround yourself with people who are like, that way, if you guys are on the same path or relatively on the same path, you guys will be able to pursue your own purpose and figure out your own goals in life, maybe a lot sooner. Now, when it comes to figuring out who you are, right, I'm 20 years old. I'm still figuring this out. I'm very young. And some people, even up to their 60s are still figuring that out. And I think that's completely fine, because I think as human beings, we're never stagnant. We're never the same. We always grow. We always change. We always adapt. We always are going to be different. And we're going to change things drastically throughout our lifetimes without even realizing it, slowly by slowly, year by year. we become completely different people than who we were. These things aren't overnight, right? When it comes to some of us, some of our purposes may be things that are going to require us to have to devote 100% of ourselves and to completely change our lives, right? We might have to cut off certain family members. We might have to stop hanging out with certain friends, and we might have to lay off certain vices and things that we abuse and whatnot, and change our personality completely to be able to get to what our purpose is, right? And these can all be ways to just figure out who you are, right? One way for me to help me get like that mental clarity to be in that state of mind is fasting. I've for the past couple of days I've been fasting throughout most of the day. Only breaking my fast, relatively towards the evening or close to the evening, and I've been having the mental clarity just to sit there with myself. And one thing is, when I'm fasting, I'm not willing to be distracted by a lot of video games or social media. Like I said earlier, journaling. Another thing too is to try and restrict the amount of content you consume, because we can be swayed every which way, right? With YouTube and Instagram and television or whatever the case may be, we can think that we want all these other aspects and goals in life because they seem like they're, okay, we saw a person earn a lot of money doing X, Y, and Z. Now we want to do X, Y, and Z. Now we think we can do X, Y, and Z. But that's not the case, right? Because if you're going to just achieve something purely for the factor of making money, you're going to be miserable. You're going to have money, but you're going to be miserable, especially if you were miserable beforehand and you thought money was going to solve your problems to everything. So I think trying to find your true and actual purpose in life is what's going to take us to just a whole nother higher mental and spiritual level. And we kind of have to isolate ourselves and just think to ourselves, what do I want to do for my life, or what things do I want to achieve for my life? And if that changes over time, then that's fine. But thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Check out all of my other videos and check my programs in the description.